Hi guys and welcome to Dial It Up, and today we're going to be talking about actions. So in the game of Heroclix, pretty much everything is based around giving characters actions. There are two different types of actions in this game, and that is free actions and non-free actions. Now, the non-free actions has a subtype of a whole bunch of different action types, and that is we've got move action, range combat action, close combat action, power action, double power action, and all, it just keeps going. So first, when you're building, you get a number of actions based on the hundreds of points of your team build. There isn't really a max, but it all based on how many points. So for example, the modern game is played within 300 points, so the average team will get 3 actions. Now there is a ways to get more actions. The standard way is just leadership, that gives you an extra action to your action pool, but there's other ways, of course, special powers and so on and so forth, that will also give you actions into your action pool. So when you are giving a character a action, it'll fall under certain types. So standard powers will either be a power action or a range combat action or a move action, and by giving a character that type, it allows you to activate what effect that power does. Now the reason why it specifies is because there's combinations and interactions that are based around those power types. So for example, when you're comboing, say, charge, charge is a power action that allows you to move half your movement, and then you are given a close combat action for free. And then that close combat action also allows you to activate, say, something like blades, because blades is a power that activates when you're given a close combat action. So, and those are all just the non-free actions, and then any special power will say what type of action it is so that you know where your activations and interactions are going to come from. So the reason why these are called non-free actions is because typically anytime you give a character a non-free action, you give them an action token. A character can never have more than 2 action tokens. Now, it is possible for certain characters to take actions after they already have 2 action tokens, but then you're looking into powers like Colossal Stamina, which allows you to take a non-free action and then just take a damage instead of taking an action token. But as it is right now, there are no effects that give you more than 2 action tokens. That's the most you can have. When you have 2 action tokens, like I said, you can't be given a non-free action unless you have an effect that says you can't. Now, why I'm specifying that much on the action tokens is that the other type of non-free action is the double power action. Now, double power action will activate certain powers, usually special powers that are going to be indicated on a character's card. When you're given a double power action, you actually get 2 action tokens for that action instead of the regular 1 action token. And if you already have an action token, you can't be given double power action token. You have to be clear. Clear means no action tokens. The next part of actions that you can perform in the game are the free actions. Now, free actions are can be done anytime on your turn, doesn't matter when. You can have as many free actions as you like. There are no limits to free actions. Only limit is to how many powers you have that activate on a free action. There are 2 really specific rulings on free actions that aren't necessarily common knowledge. The first one being that you cannot give a character a free action that will activate the same power twice in 1 turn. So you can't, if you're getting 2 different sources of, say, perplex, you can't get a free action to do perplex and then get a free action to do perplex again. One of the bigger things of why this got cut down more recently within the 2013 update was the way that multi-attack used to work. Now, multi-attack used to allow you to pretty much just do the same action twice as a free action. So pulse wave twice or running shot twice. They really wanted to tighten that and keep that kind of under check. But whereas that was pretty much affecting colossal characters and only certain characters that had the multi-attack, it became universal to affect everybody to say that you can't activate the same free action twice. Now, this is the one part that a lot of people slip up on, and I find that a lot of veteran players slip up on this the most, and that is you can always give a character an action to make a ranged combat attack or a close combat attack. It doesn't have to activate a power. But if that's being done as a free action, you can't do it twice. Like I said, before the 2013 update, it used to be that you could make as many vanilla attacks as you wanted with free actions. And a lot of people still stay by that as the ruling on it, and that's just not the case anymore. And that if you have multiple free actions to spend, you have to make sure that those free actions are doing different effects, including just a standard plain no power ranged combat attack or close combat attack. The second part of free action rulings that isn't necessarily common knowledge is that when a power is being done as a free action, it still counts as the power type that it was. So if you're being able to do flurry as a free action, that is still a close combat action. Now the reason why it's still considered the action that it was is because of those combinations and those interactions with other standard powers. So if you had an effect, there's actually a zoom or a flash that allows you to do flurry in the middle of a hypersonic, and it's still considered a close combat action because of, say, blades. Blades activates off of a close combat action. And if you're doing, even though you're giving it to the character as a free action, that doesn't change the fact that it's a close combat action, so then you can still go through your interactions and do the blades on the flurry. So it's kind of a minor thing, but it helps when you're looking at interactions, something that a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of. It was one of the things that was added into the old player's guide that unfortunately just isn't available right now. So the final part that I wanted to talk about is the actual action tokens themselves. When a character is given a non-free action, they're given an action token. On the following turn, they're once again given a non-free action. This activates pushing and supposed to signify the exhaustion of constantly attacking. And unless you have an effect that ignores that pushing damage, say willpower or indomitable, which grants willpower, you're going to be taking a damage for taking that second action token. Now earlier I mentioned that there are no effects currently in the game that can give you more than 2 action tokens. One of the things that actually kind of became a common misconception during the 2013 update is when they changed Incapacitate. Incapacitate got changed to add an extra effect that if a character already has 2 action tokens, they take a damage instead. Now unfortunately, and this was just kind of group mindthink, I guess, when that got updated, any instance of trying to give characters action token, it's something you'll see very often pop up in the WES, is that it's always questioned as to, well, if I can't give them another action token, do I deal them a damage? Short answer, no. Right now, the only thing, unless the effect that power specifies that it's going to be dealing damage, you just do nothing. If you can't give them another action token, unfortunately, there's just no effect. So that was actions. Hopefully I went over a lot of points, or enough points that people weren't necessarily aware of, and kind of just explained some rulings, mostly on the free actions. The general non-free actions are something that a lot of people are able to get the hang of early on. Any comments, questions, concerns? Tell me how bad I did in this video because I am just off the rails today. Down below, and we'll see you next time for an episode of Dial It Up.
Married with Clix is brought to you in part by MajesticCCG.com. Check out the new premium site with MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders. Check the link below. Trust me. Trying to remember that from me talking? Not going to help. You'll get awesome articles at $3 a month, with the first month being free, from amazing writers such as Paris Gordon, Easton Brock, Aaron Cantu. I'm even going to be contributing occasionally. And if you're familiar with the Meta Lab, check out some of Mike Payne's articles. So check it out again, MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders for your look into the minds of some of the greats.